Okay, so I am continuously job hunting, and it seems every job post these days has must thrive in a fast paced environment, ability to manage multiple tasks simultaneously. Like it's a gift, like that's supposed to get us excited for a new job or job hunting. Oh, yay. Can't wait to drown in Slack pings and 300 unread emails and 47 quick follow ups. Sign me right up for corporate whiplash and sleep deprivation. I'm sure that's what the good Lord had in mind when he gave us free will. I haven't even read half of the job description and I'm feeling my nervous system is already overstimulated. So, let's start with something fresh here because it's the perfect case study for how far gone this culture really is. American Airlines, one of the biggest carriers in the country, just a couple of weeks ago announced layoffs at its Fort Worth headquarters to, I'm doing air quotes with my fingers, guys, optimize performance, which essentially translates to they're cutting staff to look good on paper. Okay. And get this, it comes right after they reported a record third quarter revenue of 13.7 billion. That's billion with billion. And somehow still managed to spin a 114 million net loss in the third quarter. Uh, Record revenue, net loss, those two phrases shouldn't cancel each other out, right? But not in corporate speak because see, in this upside down economy lifestyle of illusion, record revenue means the system worked for them. The net loss just means they didn't squeeze enough out of the people doing the actual work. So now they'll get to optimize because nothing says fiscal responsibility like firing people while bragging about your luxury recliner in the sky upgrades. So tell me, how much more can performance be optimized when all the blood has already been squeezed from all the remaining turnips? How can performance be optimized when the people who remain are already at their threshold, one more task away from a collapse? I see in my mind the scene from Monty Python's Meaning of Life, where the waiter brings a silver platter out with one thin mint, and the patron says, "No, no, I can't eat anymore." But the waiter says, "But it's just one little thin mint." So he eats it, and he essentially eviscerates himself. He just blows up everywhere. You know, that's what's happening to corporate America, you know, being pushed to your limit and you're going to blow. It's financial cannibalism and it's disguised as innovation. They call it performance optimization when what they're really doing is bleeding people dry to keep shareholders comfortable and let them eat the cake, right? So they even have the nerve to claim it's about investing in long term business objectives and improving efficiency. How do you improve efficiency when people are already pushed to their limit? I don't understand. Anyway, it's about appeasing the investors, and you can't optimize a workforce that's already running on fumes. You can't invest in success while actively destroying morale. This isn't optimization, it's metabolized exploitation. And this is the modern playbook. Hit record profits, claim a loss, fire people anyway, and then still try and call it progress. It's a scam wrapped in a press release, and they get away with it. And I don't know how more people are not seeing this. I don't understand. I just we've normalized it is what the issue is. And because the system feeds on burnout, and burned out people don't have the energy to rebel or organize or call it what it is. You're too busy, you're too stressed, you're just pushing and pushing and pushing. So fast paced is just a polite way to say chaotic, understaffed, and permanently overstretched. And, and now we're building this culture that rewards adrenaline and punishes equilibrium. We don't celebrate peace, we pathologize it. And we're supposed to be grateful for the privilege of running on empty. Team player and self starter and thrives under pressure. And the translation of those, you're going to do three jobs for the price of one and call it gratitude. Boy, our priorities are just so misplaced. We turn overload into a resume skill, or they want us to turn it into a resume skill. We glorified exhaustion and called it excellence. We literally made burnout the business model. And the kicker, we're all still pretending it's normal, but it's not normal. It's extraction. And here's the real secret nobody likes to say out loud. The system feeds on burnout because burned out people don't have the energy to rebel. And we're going to fixate on this rebel word here in a minute, and that's it. That's a scam to keep you tired enough to obey, to keep you scared enough to comply, to keep you broke enough to say, thank you more, please, when you should be saying, oh, hell no, and giving them the finger as you walk out the door. It's psychological warfare dressed up in KPIs and SLAs, and those are key performance indicators and service level agreements, dumb productivity metrics for those who aren't aware of corporate speak. We don't call it oppression anymore. We call it company culture. And it isn't stopping at work. This stuff is starting to ooze into our lifestyle. It's metastasizing. So what started as a corporate hustle, it's now bleeding straight into our lives itself. We're being conditioned to treat everything like a performance review. Relationships, rest, joy, faith, even grief. We optimize fun now. We time block recovery. We apologize for not being productive on our days off. We try to curate our authenticity and call it balance. And it's just not unhealthy. It's dystopian. I'm so freaking fed up of being fed up with this bullshit. And I swear, everyone's just walking around like it's fine when it isn't. Like this is supposed to be normal, that this is just the way things are done. It's like the emperor's new clothes out here. Everybody's nodding and clapping as the naked dysfunction struts by in its LinkedIn approved glory. Oh yes, so grand, so elegant, so fast-paced. No, it's delusion in a three-piece suit, and I'm done pretending it's fine. What the actual fuck is going on? I am just asking for a friend. And no, really, that's not a question. It's a statement. It's a plea wrapped in sarcasm, because if you stop long enough to actually look around, you'll see it. People are running on fumes and they're bragging about their mileage. This isn't progress. This isn't the progress our forefathers wanted for us, our society, and it's definitely not the progress that we need in worship of Him. It's compliance theater. It's a society of people too burned out to notice they're consenting to their own exhaustion. We treat depression like downtime, grief like a scheduling conflict, and anxiety like a side hustle. And when you finally stop, when you say, I can't do this anymore, they slap a label on you, and now you're unmotivated and lazy and not a team fit, or any combination thereof. Nah, you're not lazy. You're lucid. You're just out of patience for fake urgency and performative chaos. You're allergic to pretending dysfunction is destiny because you're starting to wake up. You're starting to see where your priorities should be placed. And the system, it doesn't need thinkers, it needs throughput. It doesn't want dreamers, it wants deliverables. And it doesn't want citizens, it wants cogs who smile for quarterly reviews with ratings of maybe meets expectations, so they aren't having to give performance raises for overachievers, because those overachievers, they've become extinct. And the most dangerous thing you can do in a world like that: rest, pray, turn to God. Because rest, real rest, it's rebellion. And this is where the rebellion comes in. In a culture that worships grind, rest is sacred anarchy. Delight is defiance. Sabbath is subversion. Worship is also defiance. And we all know, or at least those of you that know me, know I operate at a level of holy mischief in human complexity. But think about it. Even God took a day off, not because he was tired, but to show us the rhythm of being human. If the creator of the universe can say, that's enough for now, then so can you. Your peace is not a luxury. Your stillness is not laziness. Your worth is not measured in metrics. We've been hypnotized into believing that motion equals meaning, and we're spinning ourselves right off the axis. We can't heal if we won't stop, and we can't rise if we never rest, and we can't rebel if we're too damn tired to lift our heads. Lifting our heads in prayer, falling to our knees in prayer. And after the last few years, we are a society that is in desperate need of healing. We need healing of our hearts, our spirits, so much. We've all all of us, every single one of us, has been through so much these last few years. And if you hang around here with me, we may do further iterations of this and work on a plan for our healing so we can heal. Come back, stick around. We're going to work on that healing thing. We're going to do it alchemy style. And this isn't just a corporate sickness anymore. It's cultural, it's spiritual, and it's existential. We've built a world where stillness feels suspicious, where burnout is a virtue signal, and where being so busy is how we prove we matter. We've normalized collapse. We post memes about mental health, but panic if someone actually logs off and takes a break from social media. Oh, what's wrong? Don't you do this anymore? Why aren't you saying this? Why aren't you talking about the thing? Whatever. We live like God's greatest commandment was hustle harder, when he actually said, rest, love, live, breathe, and remember who you are. We are not here to serve the machine. We are here to remind each other we are not machines. We can fix what we refuse to name. We gotta name it. And this right here, this burnout culture, this compliance masquerading as ambition, it's the naked emperor, and somebody's got to point and say it. So what do? We answer the call. We stop applauding this dysfunction and we start healing. We stop worshiping exhaustion and we start putting our worship where it belongs, with him. We place our gratitude with him. We place our gratitude with each other. We give thanks for him. We give thanks for each other. We stop letting fear disguise itself as work ethic. We start measuring our worth not by how much we produce, but by how whole we remain in a system that has morphed into something that is now built to shatter us. Rest, joy, presence, praise, worship of God, those aren't distractions. They're weapons of divine disruption, holy rebellion. That's what holy mischief really is, or what I like to call it anyway. That's what human complexity looks like. That's what unapologetically multifaceted means. So when I say, "Here am I, send me," I don't mean send me burnt out and broken. Sorry. I mean send me rested, clear-eyed, ready to tell the truth, ready and energized and willing to praise Him and give thanks. Because if nobody else will say it, then fine, I just did. Go live your life like you mean it. I love you guys.